is only war.
What is up, gents? 40k Dirtbags here. We got an awesome battle report for you today. We're doing Grey Knights, a different type of Grey Knight, something that I don't usually run, so it's really cool to pay attention to this list. And Chaos Space Marine, our boy Mike, we played over at Top Deck in New Jersey. Really awesome store, super big, a lot of room, great terrain, and also just all the product in the world. So shout out to Top Deck, not sponsored by the video, but really cool store if you guys are in the Jersey area. So today, battle report, we're testing for Nova. Mike is running his essentially Nova list. We are just running a fucking Grey Knight list. So we wanted to test out the LandRiader. I've been wanting to put it on the table for a while now. I'm running the LandRiader Crusader as a model, but it's technically the LandRiader with all the last cannons because I don't own a normal one with last cannons. I have one with Chaos, but that's fucking heresy if I throw the Chaos LandRiader down for Grey Knights. But we're going to be testing out just a fun list for Grey Knights versus a very, very competitive Chaos Space Marine player list. So hopefully you guys enjoy it. Let me know in the comments below what you liked, what you didn't like. If you like these type of battle reports, this is a picture battle report because anytime we're in a loud area, we have to take pictures instead of recording it so you guys don't have that fucking muffling, loud talking background music the entire time. So if you guys like these types of videos, I had been getting a lot of good feedback on them. They're a lot shorter, so you don't have to watch a 3-hour battle report video and still learn from it. That's the whole point of these, is to learn from my mistake, Mike's mistakes, and anybody else who I play, learn from them so that way you don't have to do it in your own games. So again, hopefully you guys are learning from this. Let me know in the comments below what you like and don't like about them. So if you guys are new, head over to Discord. There's a lot of awesome chaps over in Discord. And if you guys are a Patreon, thank you. Wouldn't be doing this without you. You guys are fucking awesome. We're heading out to Nova in 2 days. Holy shit, we're going into Nova. So by the time you see this video, I'll probably already be there and posting all that stuff. But Nova, we're going to be practicing for Nova. I posted my list up in the Patreon Discord. So if you guys are a part of that, you already saw that. But these videos pop up first on Patreon. So if you guys want to go support, $1 a month just to see them early. If you guys want to go baller and throw $5 a month, you guys will become Justice Colors. $10 a month and $25 a month are competitive and Grandmaster Dirtbags. You guys get one-on-one coaching from me. I was ranked #1 Grey Knight player, still currently #1 Chaos Space Marine player in the world. So you get some coaching from somebody who's been playing the game for very competitively, and you guys are just supporting the channel. So if you guys are Grandmasters, you get suggestions on battle reports. This was a suggestion from a Grandmaster who wanted to see these types of units on the table. So that's how you get to see kind of battle reports ran if you become a Grandmaster status. So let's get into what we have coming up. If you guys want to fast forward, you can. But we have dice merch, dirtbag merch. So we still have dice. We have about 100 green dice left. We have about, I would say, 30 or 40 silver dice left. We have Caldus Assassins for tips and Codiez for tips. They're 3D print proxies, but they look exactly like the model. And a shit ton of stickers. So these stickers are about $3 each, I believe. We ship worldwide, and the objective markers are from 3D6 Wargaming. You get to pick any 6 of these figures, different colors for 40k Dirtbags, and you get 6 of them for I think 28 bucks. It's actually really good. They make awesome shit. So 3D6 Wargaming, they're sponsoring the channel, so go check them out. There's a link in all this stuff below. If you guys are interested in the other stuff, head over to Discord so you guys can buy it individually. So let's get into the pictures. Again, we take pictures. First, we're going to go over the lists, what we're running, and then we're going to go over play-by-play each turn and what we did throughout the game. All right, today we got something different. That is a regular LandRiader, not a LandRiader Crusader. We have Brother Captain leading it off with Sigil and a Psycannon. We have Grandmaster Drago is the Warlord. We have a Chaplain who we're testing out. I don't think he has any enhancements. We have a Caldus Assassin, of course. We have a unit of Exaction Squad, 1 5-man Terminator unit going with the Chaplain. We have, with Drago, and then we have a 5-man Paladin unit going with the Chaplain. And then we have a 10-man Paladin unit, all side cannons, going with the Brother Captain. And then we have 5 Strike Squad and a LandRiader, regular LandRiader with the last cannons. And that's 2,000 points. All right, what do we got today?
So slight deviation from my current list. So I've still got Abaddon, the 10 Terminators, Cypher, Blue Scribes, 2x3 Flamers, 2x10 Cultists, 4 Obliterators, 3 Forge Fiends, and then 3 Bites. This guy is the Nurgle, and then these two are Undivided, and these guys are Nurgle as well. And then of course the Cultists are Undivided. I'm sorry, Nurgle, and the Bites are Nurgle as well.
Cool. All right, so unorthodox type list. Chaplain's super excited about running it. I want to test it to see how the +1 to wound in combat is going to be, especially going against vehicles. So Forge Fiends scare the shit out of me. If you know anything about when I play Forge Fiends, I just try and stay away from them and ignore them all for everything. If you saw my last battle report, we ran 3 Librarians, Deep Strike, blow up a Forge Fiend, and then a Forge Fiend turns around and shoots us, and then we die. So they are very scary. They've killed me a shit ton of times, so we want to try and make a list tailored towards actually killing shit rather than just kind of running around the board. So that was the list. Let's get into the map. We are doing the I think it was the 3rd mission on day 1 of Nova, where you get to move the objective markers. So first off, you roll to see who places the first objective marker. That means that person places 3, and then you place 2. So he won the roll off, and now you don't know which side you're gonna take. So he didn't know that. So we kind of we put this objective marker in the center. This was the original layout, but then he didn't know that you roll off to see who goes first or which side you want. So I won the roll off. So I was like, all right, I'll take that side. So then we redid it and put it just in the center. So I kept this side, and then we just kept the one objective in the center to make it even, because again, it's practicing for Nova. So now that he knows what to do, that's what we're doing. And I really like this because you get to really fuck with your opponent, kind of put objective markers where you want. If you guys are going against Custodes or Custodes players, you're going to want to put one objective marker all the way in this left corner like I did, and then you're going to put another objective marker right next to it. So that way you're always almost guaranteed to sit on 2 objectives most of the game with Custodes. That's the whole goal. Now, if you're playing against Custodes, you want to put one objective marker here and then one all the way on the other side over here, so that way it's as far away from each other as possible, and then hopefully you roll off and get the other side. That's because you don't want the Custodes players to do what you're trying to do. So that's my little insight when you're setting up the objectives. Now, how it is, it's 6 inches away from table field edge. So we have right at 6 inches away, but you also don't want people to walk on to the board edge to get onto the objective. So you want to be careful for that, because some missions you can walk on the battlefield edge and it's within 6 inches. So then you either steal that point or you get on that point. So I kept this objective in my deployment zone of 10 inches. So it's right on the edge, and it's not the circle. You're looking at the objective marker. That's the point. So it's the objective marker is in your deployment zone, outside 6 inches from the table edge, and you still want to make sure that you're not walking onto it so your opponent doesn't walk onto your home field objective. And then the next one you place, after they place one, is you place it in no man's land. And in this deployment, the Dawn of War deployment, no man's land is anything on the other side of 10 inches. So I put this one right on the other side of 10 inches. So the objective is literally right outside of my deployment zone, and that objective has to be 9 inches away from this objective. So that is the perfect layout that you want to do on this scenario, is you put one inside the deployment zone, one barely outside the deployment zone, and then 9 inches away. Now you can put it all the way over here. You could put it fucking anywhere in no man's land, but most of the time it's going to be right there, just like he put his right there. And then the third one is 9 inches away in center. You could put that one on this side of you if you wanted to, like if you really wanted to. But again, you don't know if which side you're going to get, so you don't want to make it easy and then your opponent wins the dice roll, and then now you're on the other side. So just be careful of that. All right, so this is it. Let's go into deployment. I put my paladins on the table. The chaplain with the paladins are inside the LandRiader. We're trying to block it as much as possible. We have strike squads, which have scout. So if they scout, I can scout onto this objective and this objective to get sticky on both objectives. And then I think everything else was in reserves and deep strike. So we don't really have a lot of models in this list. So we got deep strike with Drago. These are in the LandRiader. These guys are reserves. And then deep strike, deep strike. So he put 2 into reserves, 1 in deep strike, and then these other guys in deep strike. So pretty simple layout. Now here's something I didn't know about the bikes. Bikes go into strategic reserves. I love the bikes. I'm running bikes in my chaos list, but bikes go into strategic reserve, and then it doesn't say they have to come back on next turn. And if you look up strategic reserves, it doesn't say you have to come back on next turn. It basically tells you how to or where to come back on. But bikes just say put them into strategic reserve. So you start them right at the board edge, and then you just basically every turn you walk them off. And if you don't need to bring them back on, don't fucking bring them back on, because you pick your secondaries, and then if you don't get any secondaries that you need the bikes, just keep them off the table. They just have to come on by turn 5 or they die. So that is such a huge benefit to the bikes if you guys are playing Chaos Space Marine. So really good. If you can kill them early, and you're going against them, try and kill them earlier, because they are really good at secondaries. And then he basically just castles up everything over there, cultists over there to get sticky objectives, then the other sticky. So I told him run 2 cultists, because I really like 2 cultists with Chaos Space Marine, because the sticky objectives is just so fucking good in 10th edition. So he got turn 1, and he got assassinate and deploy teleport homers. So he ran his flamers out to deploy teleport homers in the center. So I believe he got 2 points for that. The cultists ran forward. They're Nurgle, I believe. So if I do shoot at them, I can't shoot at them outside 12. Bikes went off the table. Everything else kind of scooted up, and this guy stayed back there so he doesn't get shot by my LandRiader, which was smart, because he didn't have a line of sight to anybody. So might as well keep him back, and then everything else kind of stayed behind cover. My turn 1, I got extend battle lines and investigate signals. So investigate signals within 9 inches of the corners, which isn't bad for Grey Knights, but getting a turn 1, this is the second game I fucking got at turn 1. Getting a turn 1 is kind of shitty, because you can't, I mean, you can teleport assault, but this army doesn't have a lot of units like this list. So you can't really just throw your guys all over the table and try and get teleport or investigate signals. So we got that, and then extend battle lines. At the end of your turn, you control 1 or more objective markers in your own deployment zone, and also 1 no man's land, which, again, no man's land is your objective literally right next to your deployment zone. So we have 1 on our side. So if you control that and your home field objective, you'll get it. So that's an easy 5 points. So that's why I love this mission so much. So we control this no man's land objective with the strikes. We have the LandRiader controlling this one, and then I had to get these guys out of the LandRiader to do the teleport, whatever the fucking secondary is called, investigate signals. So we're investigate signals in this corner with my chaplain and terminators. We're investigating with our 700 point pally brick in this corner. So we got 2 investigate, and we got 5 for whatever. So 4 and 5 points, turn 1, not bad. Oh, and LandRiader shot and killed the dudes over here. So not bad turn 1. He then gets 10 points. This you only get 10 points for primary, and then 15 at the end of the game. This one's secure no man's land. So at the end of your turn, you control 1 or more objective in no man's land. So same thing we just got. Oh no, 2 or more. So he has to control the center, because he already controls the one by his deployment zone, and then engage in all fronts. So since he has a lot of deep strikes coming in, he could definitely engage. So this is a really good turn 2 for him. So this is what happened. Remember I said I really wanted to test out the chaplain? I'm sorry, guys, but I wasn't able to test out the chaplain. You're probably like, oh shit, we get to try the chaplain. Nope. Mike took him off the table turn 2, and I felt really shitty about it, because I was like, fuck, now I literally can't do anything with it. They were in the LandRiader to basically run up and then get out and do something, but I had to do 2 points, so I got 2 points out of this 90, 250, 340 point unit. They got 2 points for me. So I'm so glad they sacrificed themselves to get me those 2 points, because that could definitely be a game changer. And this is all sarcasm, by the way. Game changer in this edition. So they died. That's me picking them up off. He came in from reserves. That's the undivided one. Came in from reserves, spent 1 CP. I vected his 1 CP strat, because I know he's going to be doing it almost every single turn. So that 1 CP then turns to 2 CP after this turn. And then my LandRiader is getting lined up by these oblits. So this was his first mistake. Abby, I think Abby ran, but if Abby runs up, the oblits can be 6 inches away from Abby and still get the full rerolls. So try and make it as far as you possibly can. Only one guy has to be within 6 inches to get the full rerolls. So one guy is tailed out to get full rerolls, and then the other ones are all within 12 inches of the LandRiader. Now, if the Blitz are within 12 inches of the LandRiader, it's 12-inch Melta. So it's fucking 6 damage. Flat 4 plus 2 for Melta. So it's 6 damage every time I fail saves. So if I fail, I think it's 3 saves for their AP fucking 3 or 4 weapon, my LandRiader is going to die. So he only had Melta, he was outside of 12, so it was basically only 4 damage, which then I have to fail, I believe, 5? You have to fail 5 or 6 for it to blow up. So I think I spent 1 CP for minus 1 AP. I had cover, so I was going down to, I believe, AP 1. I think it's AP 3 Melta. So AP 1, and then I had either 3 up or 4 up. I forget, but I basically made the saves, and he rolled like shit, and then I took 4 wounds. So the LandRiader took 4 wounds from all those Melta, but if he was within, that distance, he potentially could have blew up the LandRiader with that. So that was my first suggestion to him, is he probably could have won this game if he blows up my LandRiader and killed that unit that he killed before. Because if he does that turn 1, I don't have a home field objective. It's not sticky. He took out 270 points for our LandRiader and then 340 points of our whatever. So he would have killed 600 or 700 points in 1 turn and took me off the objective. So it would have been a huge swing if he took out the LandRiader this turn. Now, taking out the Chaplain and the Terminators or Paladins would definitely be a big blow. But let's see if we can come back from this. So he got engaged with this guy walking in. He got engaged on that corner, and then he wasn't able to get anybody in this corner. So he still got 3 for engage, which isn't bad, especially on turn 2. All right, so then what are we going to do to try and come back? We got capture enemy outpost for 8 and bring it down. So that's something good to get turn 2, because my goal was to kill Forge Fiends, and we have Drago in here to kill Forge Fiends because they're demons. So I was able to bring up the Strike Squad and somehow fit them within 3 inches, which he then vected. Fit in within 3 inches, and I got 2 on the objective, which he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 models on the objective. So the goal here is to kill the cultists, which then will only leave him with 3 OPSEC on his home field objective, and I would then have 4, or I would have 4, but he overwatched with, I believe, the Forge Fiend, and without the Forge Fiend having rerolls, it's very bad at overwatching. So that's my other suggestion, is if you're ever going to overwatch, don't waste the strat if you're not within rerolls of Abaddon, because with Nurgle, you're able to hit on 6s, full rerolls, and explode on 6s, even with the Overwatch, because you're able to Dark Pact and get full rerolls for the Overwatching. So always do Overwatching if you're getting the full rerolls from Abaddon. If not really worth it, because then you hit on 6, no rerolls, and it's like you might kill 1 to 2 guys. So in this case, he killed 3 guys. I had 2 live on the objective, which you don't have to do the Battle Shock test until your following turn. So this turn, at least I was able to control that and be good to go. So we stole that for 8 points, because we were able to actually get these cultists done by, I believe, my Paladin brick. So my Paladin brick spread out over here, and they were all within 12 of this, because he has Nurgle. So I had to make sure I was within 12. And then over here, Assassin came down over here, and all these guys lined up to try and shoot these guys. So Assassin went first, shot 2 or 3, and then took me out of 12 inches, which was, I wasn't thinking. So he Nurgle strat these guys, and since all my side cannons are lined up to be within 12 of these guys, it wasn't really worth it to do it here, because I was going to kill him anyway. So we take out these cultists pretty easily. We killed, I think, 2 or 3 of these cultists. I had Drago and the Termies pop down over here within 9 of this guy, so that way they can make their 6-inch charge. I had an option to either go after the Obliterators or the Forge Fiend. If this LandRiader couldn't kill, or if the LandRiader kills the Forge Fiend, I can then go after the Obliterators and try and be outside of countercharge of Abaddon. But it basically is like a suicide mission. So if they come in, kill the Oblits, then Abaddon walks up and then countercharges them next turn. So I was like, it's up in the air. So that was the option. So what did we do? We killed the Forge Fiend. Drago charge, killed the Forge Fiend. I wasn't able, I think I rolled a 10 for the charge, so technically it was 13 inches. So basically I charge in, get everybody within base to base, and now since they were base to base, I wasn't able to consolidate behind the objective. And then once I killed the Forge Fiend, I wasn't within range of the objective or another unit, so they basically just couldn't consolidate anywhere. So they were stuck right there, which gave him line of sight with these two guys right here to his obliterators. So obliterators can move up 4 and then just fucking nuke this squad off the table, and he was outside 9. He forgot that, by the way. He almost moved up within 9 inches, but since they're so fucking slow, they were about 1 inch away. So if they were speed 5, I would have been able to teleport away. But since they were speed 4, he walked up, and then I had to stay there and take it to the face with his obliterators. With full rerolls, being Nurgle, it was bad. This guy moved on the other side of the terrain so that way the obliterators can't keep shooting at him. And he just put shots into the Forge Fiend. And I think it took a couple damage. I don't like the LandRiader. Honestly, I'll give you my insight, but I don't like the LandRiader without a Tech Priest. If you're going to run a LandRiader, bring a Tech Priest. It is, I would say, almost needed for LandRiader. Hitting on 3 is not good, and you can heal it, which is cool. And Lone Operative for the Tech Priest is pretty cool too. He got Cleanse and Investigate Signals, so he had to cleanse the objectives and then put the Investigate Signals in the corners. Yeah, so same thing as I got with the 9 inches. He can get those. So that's when he brought in the blue scribes up top, but he shot my guys, took everything down to one guy. So all I had left was my dude, and I was hoping to keep him alive so that way he can bring people back. But he was the closest guy, so he needs a 10-inch charge. 10-inch charge. And what does he roll? He rolls a fucking 10. So he gets his guys into my Drago and this guy. So I think the Forge Fiend shot at the LandRiader, or it might have shot at them. I forget. I think the Oblit shot at them, and then the Forge Fiend shot at them and took all but these two out. I spent 1 CP to do the -1 AP as well. So I was getting cover and -1 AP, so it was basically saving on 3 pluses. So he made the charge. He kills all but 1. So Drago is alive on 1 wound. Drago then swings back and kills 2 obliterators. So Drago, fucking being a boss into demons, he kills 2 of the charging obliterators in his unit. So it was smart by him just to try and take out this unit, because if he can take out Drago, I basically have nothing left to kill his other Forge Fiend or the Oblits. So he charges in, makes the fucking 10-inch charge, and then Drago slaps back and kills 2 Oblits. So my turn, I get Aerial Denial, which at the end of your turn, if 1 or more units from your army are wholly within 6 inches of center, and nobody's, so I can only get this one, but 3 inches, so I can only get 3 points instead of 5 because he has his Terminator still in the center, and then no prisoners, so we have to kill some shit. We put, let's see if I took a picture of it. No, so we put my entire Brotherhood Captain and Paladins into these 2 obliterators. Now, since this guy is behind cover and I can't see him fully, he'll get the cover. And then this guy doesn't get the cover. So he, instead of that 3 being on that guy, it technically was on that guy, so we moved it over. All of the shots, exploding 6s, wounding on 3s. He has a 2-up save. He makes all of them but 1. So all of that shooting, I do 2 damage to these obliterators. Drago then fell back into the LandRiader. Because when you embark now, you could actually embark within 3 inches. It's not wholly within. So as long as he moves back 5 inches and then he's within 3 of the LandRiader, he can then get in. So it's basically almost an 8-inch move to get into the LandRiader to try and save him for a little bit. So LandRiader definitely helped out, save Drago. So Drago fell back in LandRiader. The assassin deep struck on the top floor over here to try and get plunging fire with her sprays. I think she did 1 damage. The last cannons shot didn't really do. Shot at the Forge Fiend, and then that was it. So I didn't really get a ton. I think I killed. Did I kill anything? Honestly, we'll go back at the final score, but I don't think I got a ton on this one. The assassin ran to the center. So in the center of the board, I deep struck. My assassin was in my zone. It then ran up to be within 6 inches of the center, and then he wasn't within 3 inches. So I was able to get 3 points for that center, and then I was able to kill the Forge Fiend, I think, because he did some damage to himself, and then the last cannons were able to finish it off. And maybe a cultist squad on the other side. Okay, so then his turn, he gets Defend Stronghold, and then Storm Hostile Objective. So if you control objective marker that was controlled by your opponent, which should be easy for him. Where are we at? So these 2 strikes got spent 1 CP for them to get out of dodge. So he moved his guys. And then I spent 1 CP to put them back in reserves. And then on my turn, they came back down over here. These guys walked in over here to get some flamer shots on the cultists. The bikes came in on this corner to do the scanning. Forge Fiend moved up. Oblitz moved up to try and shoot and kill the LandRiader. The Abaddon and Terminators are trying to run forward to the center. There's my assassin in the center right there. And then the Forge Fiend scooted up to try and really blow these guys up. So let's get into my turn. The Oblitz charged the LandRiader. They had to kill it to get onto the objective to steal my objective. And then the Forge Fiend shot at the LandRiader as well. So Forge Fiend going to the LandRiader, not as good. Oblitz going to the LandRiader without rerolls, not as good. So toughness 12 definitely helped out with the LandRiader a lot. These guys scooted up and shot the assassin, killed the assassin pretty easily. So then on my turn, I get Engage in all fronts, which Grey Knights love, and Defend Stronghold. So Defend Stronghold I don't like. That's probably one of my least favorite missions. But if I'm controlling the backfield objective, I get 3 points. And in this mission, you set up the backfield objective to basically be in your, like, all the way in your corner. So his is like right there, mine's all the way back there. So he needs to get something on my side to control it. So since his Oblitz are in combat with my LandRiader, I can shoot out at -1. So I basically shot out and took out the Forge Fiend, and then the assassin and Drago got out and then charged the Oblitz to finish off the Oblitz. So Drago being in that LandRiader saved him to come back out the next turn and then charge and finish off the Oblitz, because they're demons. It's a anti-demon 2+. So Drago fucking killed all the demons and a Forge Fiend this game, or all the Oblitz and a Forge Fiend, which was fucking awesome. Assassin's behind the wall. Bikes are still chilling in the corner. Cypher got out to kill my dudes that were left over here. And then Abaddon and his Hermes are doing East fuck knows in the center of the battle. I teleport assaulted my big 10-man paladin brick and put him on his zone. And we stole the backfield objective with 2 of them because they're offset 6. And we killed the flamers that were on the objective. So I think he had like 3 flamers on the back objective. So we teleported in within 3 inches. I spent 2 CP because he vected it. So I spent 2 CP, came down, and then just shot all of them at the cultists that were left on this thing. So I killed the 3 cultists that were left. And then I killed all of the flamers on his home field objective. So now again, I didn't sigil yet throughout the entire game, and I still have that strat to teleport assault away if he moves within 9 inches of me. So he knows that, so he doesn't move his Forge Fiend, and then his Termies go right outside 9 inches to get the charge off. So if he makes a 9-inch charge, he basically kills all of my paladins. If he doesn't make a 9-inch charge, they're alive, and I could potentially do something last turn. So Drago is just awesome. He's just chilling there, and then he got extend battle lines. So at the end of your turn, if you control 1 or more objective markers in your own deployment zone, also 1. So he has to control the home field objective. So he has to try and get those guys, kill those guys off, or get the Terminators on his home field objective. Then overwhelming force. So in the secondary mission, each time enemy that started a turn in range of objective markers destroyed. So if he kills shit on the objectives, he gets points.
Mike, what are we doing?
So let me show you this.
All right, Mike, what are we doing?
What are we doing? It's turn 5.
Man. Yeah, it's turn 5.
What the hell are we doing?
75 to 70. So the play is Forge Fiends shooting these guys. They can't come within 9 or else he can get away. So they're going to do a 9-inch charge. And then the bikes need to kill this LandRiader. And that is the only chance of maybe winning.
Okay. So tell me again, what's the game plan? What do you have to do?
What I have to do is, so this is the mission where you get 15 for holding, you get 5 for every objective you hold at the end. So I need to kill them and then hold these 3 objectives.
Yes, so he has to kill the paladins because they're on the objective, so that'll get you what, 5 points or 4 points?
5 per objective.
Oh wow, so you get 5 points for extend battle lines and overwhelming force. So if you kill unit, it's 3 on an objective.
Yeah.
To a max of 5.
Right.
So you'll get them, if you kill LandRiader, that'll be 5. And then extend battle lines is at the end of the turn you control 1 or more objectives in your own deployment zone and also control 1 or more objectives in no man's land. So that'll be Cypher,
right.
And you have to take your back objective over again. Okay, so you'll definitely get 5 there. Because I'm going to show you what's going to happen. All right, go ahead. Do what you got to do.
Wait, what are you
doing?
No,
right just do what you got to do.
Okay, so I'm going to shoot them, right?
Okay, and again, I asked at the beginning of the game, I was like, do you want to play tournament wise? And he's like, yes.
Yeah,
so I'm only recording this right now to get your reaction because they have sigil. So you shoot them, I'm getting the fuck out of dodge.
I know.
So you target them with a shot, I'm gonna get them out of dodge.
I can't shoot them.
Yeah, that would have been game. So literally, I would have just teleported them away, probably fucking over here, and then next turn run to the center objective.
And then you would have your 3.
And then I would have my 3.
Yeah.
So if you, I literally was like this. I was turned away, smiling so fucking hard because you were like, I'm gonna shoot this with the Forge Fiends and the Terminators, and I was just like, all right. It's
so what's funny? So back playing in 9th, it's always get rid of sigil sooner than later.
Yeah, and this is why. Because turn 5 with sigil is fucking insane.
True, but in this edition, I don't think it's worth shooting them earlier. I should have waited till 5, basically.
Yeah, I mean, they were kind of hidden most of the game. Like, they didn't really do too much. Turn 1, they were fucking doing 2 points in this objective. All right, so you're not going to shoot them? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, but turn in play, you would have
yeah, you would have targeted them. I would have picked them up and be like, all right,
so
go fuck yourself.
Where are they going? So then basically the last...
Well, let's see if you can kill them.
Okay, so...
And then we'll be back. So when he was like going over his plan with me, and again, this is a friendly matchup we're testing for Nova. So anytime me and Mike play, I ask like, hey, do you want competitive mode, like nobody tells each other shit, you have to ask the right questions, you have to play like it is a tournament, or do you want to just like, hey, we're practicing, we're gonna help each other out? Anytime we're on stream, we always help each other out because that's the whole point of getting you guys better. But in this game, he's like, no, competitive. I was like, all right, cool. So I won't say anything. So I literally was just sitting like this, like smiling so hard, facing away from the table because I was like, oh my god, he's gonna fucking shoot my paladin squad. Oh my god, he's gonna shoot my paladin squad. So he lines up everybody to shoot my paladin squad, and I'm like, and that's when I recorded. I was like, Mike, what are you gonna do? He's like, oh, I'm gonna shoot your paladin with him and him. I was like, all right, good. So he shoots, and I was like, all right, sigil. And I fucking pick one, put him. So then I was like, all right, let's just pretend you didn't shoot at him. Can you make the 9-inch charge? So what I would have done was deep strike him over here, and then I found out that you can't go up and down, so they have to be 9 inches away, so I have to kind of deep strike him back this way. But he failed his 9-inch charge anyway. So he rolled like a 6 or whatever, spent a CP, re-rolled it, and then failed it again. So that really wouldn't have mattered. Assassin was at the top, just kind of chilling for, I believe, engage. And then we had the bikes walk into the side table edge and try and blow up the LandRiader to get some points. So if he kills the LandRiader with the plasmas, he has a fist on the champion. I think if you're going to use the bikes just for like secondaries and, you know, running around the table, they can walk on, do a Dark Pact, and just try and nuke something with plasmas. Yeah, they might die with hazardous, but it still might be worth it because if one lives, that's all you need. I really don't want to get my bikes in combat. So I want to put 2 plasma guns and a plasma pistol on my bikes and just make them nurgle so that way they get exploding 5s. So you roll to see if you hit any exploding 5s, go into the pot, and then you roll to wound. But yeah, I would definitely just do all plasma. And they're nurgle in case somebody shoots at them. You just spend 1 CP. Now they can't be shot. So he doesn't kill the LandRiader. And then obviously he doesn't kill the Paladins. And I don't think I had anybody else on the objectives. This was sticky back here. So sticky since turn 1, I might add. And then this is basically the end of the game. Spread out so we control this objective and that objective. And this is the end of the game. All right, real quick, Mike, we talked it out, but what was the final score?
75-100 to Grey Knights.
And what did we like about your list? This is the list you're bringing to Nova?
Yeah, I'm going to stick with this list. So basically the issue with the modified vanilla list, it's less forgiving. So it's like if you misplace the Obliterators, which that list had 8, if you misplay that, then you're done. 8 rounds of that, I don't know if I can not make a mistake. You know what I'm saying? Like a critical mistake like that. So this list was more forgiving. 2 misplays were when I do bring in my 4 oblits, have them within 12, so they get the melted 2. That was a misplay, and then the other one was what were we talking about? I don't remember.
You love the bikes, though.
Yes, yeah. So, okay, so reading the GT pack, you have to, you can't bring in reserves and deep strikes after turn 3 unless they start on the board. So the bikes give you that flexibility. So that is worth 95 points for behind enemy lines. Anything that they need to go in turn 4 or 5, you can do that. What I changed is, so for 4 obliterators, I'm getting a Forge Fiend and another squad of cultists. And especially in this edition where screening out is like so important, having the ability to screen out, like I screen out basically the entire half of the board, which like limited where you wanted to go. That was good.
We also talked about Vect, like which strat for Grey Knights to Vect.
Oh yeah, so going into Grey Knights, I think the coming within 3, Vecting that is the one to do it. Like
no, the get out of dodge, the miss. So if you end within 9 inches, it'll cost me 2 CP to teleport away.
Versus coming in within 3.
Yeah, because that didn't stop me the whole game because I could choose not to do that. Like I'm like, all right, I don't have to come within 3.
So the get out of dodge one.
Yeah, that's the one Garrett did, and it was just a kick in the nuts.
Okay, that's fair.
Because let's say the last turn I don't have 2 CP to get them out of dodge, Abby just fucking walks up and charges him and kills him.
Fair. But see, that's the nice thing about Grey Knights. Like, so you have 3 really powerful stratagems that honestly, like, dictate your game plan. So if you vect 1, you kind of just go to the other 2 and play off of that. And then save that 2 CP vected strat for something like critical. That's the other thing that we've noticed, like, playing with so many armies having some sort of vect, is people are really saving their CP for those critical. So you even vected my reroll everything, but like I kept the CP in the bank to use that every single turn anyway.
It's so good.
Yeah. So, but again, for Chaos Space Marine, still having the loan op is huge. I mean, Cypher did a ton of work over here by himself. Plus, he's my only unit that has assault, so he can advance and shoot and do like the
9-inch action.
Any action where he has to advance and shoot. But yeah, I just think, so for playing Grey Knights a lot, I think the big struggle with you guys is it's a different play style. And like if you're not about dancing around the board and playing, I don't want to say defensively, but like with
not killing shit,
precise offensive output, I think that's why a lot of people don't like Grey Knights right now. But you still score 100 points, so they score really well. But I think it's frustrating for players if it's just not really how you like to play the game. So,
like when 700 points goes into an Obliterator squad and does 2 wounds to it, it's very disheartening. Like you just can't rely on your firepower at all. The 1 CP you spent for -1 to hit, my LandRiader hitting on 4s and not hitting it once was brutal. I was thinking about the LandRiader, like instead of the Assassin, I forgot I could just bring a Tech Priest and make it hit on 2s.
Okay.
And heal it. Okay. And it's lone operative.
Within 3 of a vehicle? Okay, fair.
So I think the Tech Priest, honestly, in the LandRiader would be probably the best combo.
Yeah, I think you do need that.
Because then it just heals every turn. If you don't kill it, it just heals 3.
Right, but then also you need to be hitting on 2s.
I have to.
Yeah. Because you have no rerolls.
Yeah, 270 points, and yours is 255. And you can't be shot outside 12, and you get full rerolls, and you explode on 5s. Fucking brutal. Insane. The Assassin, I noticed every game that the Assassin lives, she gets a lot of secondaries. Every time she dies, I lose a lot of secondaries.
I think I've killed her once, but that was way in the beginning.
Garrett killed her turn 2.
What?
I gave her to her. So I had behind enemy lines, she deep struck, and then Abaddon just walked up and took her off the table by shooting. And then I didn't get to vect anything against them.
It was before.
Yeah.
Okay,
And then she so losing her really early with Grey Knights is very, very bad.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think it's the same as
with Cypher.
Cypher in the beginning, too.
Yeah.
Something to think about for Chaos Space Marines is, do you run the Terminators or not? So the other list I was thinking about running was Abaddon solo, but I think there's too many armies in the game that can come within 3 and just take him off way early in the game.
Eldar ignoring or out of line of sight shooting with D cannons. Just remove.
Which guarantees. I mean, you're using the Nurgle strat anyway.
Oh, true.
But still,
that's true. Yeah. So he won't die.
Right. So the other strategy is Abaddon and a Hellbrood and a Forge Fiend in the back the entire game. Which in this game, I don't think it would have made that much a difference anyway. I think the critical mistake was not. I think the pivotal moment was not killing that LandRiader in turn 2.
Yeah.
Even though I put 4 Obliterators and a Forge Fiend into it, it just didn't happen. So.
Well, the Forge Fiend killed the guys.
Oh yeah.
Not the
right, that's right. Yeah.
But still, I think that squad was 255 plus the 90 for the chaplain.
Yeah.
So 345 points it killed with 1 round of shooting.
Yeah.
It made up its points.
Yeah. So
fucking Forge
I think
Fiends.
I'm gonna stick with the 3 Forge Fiends.
Seems
until
good.
They get nerfed.
Or points.
Points increase. Yeah.
All right. Thanks, Mike.
I forgot this was the final score. We should probably go over that. So Grey Knights win it 100-75. We got it was close up until basically the last 2 turns. So let's go. Mike got 10, which is the max you can get on primary. And then at the end of the game, I believe he got I think he had 5 for primary, and then he got 10 for the tertiary. Turn 1, he got 3 for deploy teleport homers, 3 for engage, 5 for secure no man's land, 5 and 4 for cleanse and investigate signal, and then 0 for storm hostile objective and defend stronghold. And then the last turn, he spent a CP, cap defend stronghold, extend battle lines, and overwhelming force. So end of the game, he wound up with 45 for primary, which this one is pretty easy to get primary on, and then 20 out of 40 for secondaries. Then for Grey Knights, we had 10, and then 15 because we went second. So basically, we were just trying to get max for that. Turn 1, we had a 5 and a 4. Turn 2, we had 8 and 4, which is awesome. 3 for aerial denial, 0 for no prisoners. Defend stronghold, we had 0. And engage in all fronts, we had 0. And then behind enemy lines, we had 3, and then we kept defend stronghold for turn 5, and we had 3. Or we got that in turn 5. And then the last turn, we had secured no man's land for 5 and deployed teleport homers for 5. So basically, we maxed out with there and maxed out with there. So we had a lot of good secondary runs. Turn 5, especially getting a 10 on the last turn. And then this turn getting a 12 is huge. So anytime you Grey Knights love capture enemy outpost. So getting 8 on that turn with also another secondary is huge. So bringing down 1 Forge Fiend, you get 4 points. So that's why we added Dragos to the list, so that we can come in and just kill something, because there's actually a lot of demons in the top meta army lists right now. So that's the final score. So it's always fun playing Mike. He's definitely one of the best players to put on stream. He definitely explains a lot. He's actually taken over the Chaos Space Marine Discord. He's helping out a ton on Discord and helping you guys out with there. We are potentially doing a modeling channel on the dirtbags, so painting, modeling, all that stuff. He's going to be hopefully in charge of that, as well as some lore videos. So lore videos hopefully we're going to get on the channel once we sit down and do like a full hour just talking about some lore and then kind of splicing it up in a whole bunch of different smaller videos. So we're trying to work on that. There's a lot coming up with Nova, so we're really focused on that first. Then when we get back, we're going to start doing some extra stuff on the channel. So if you guys are new, appreciate it. Like, subscribe, do all the YouTube shit, and then if you guys want to support us, head over to Patreon and head over to the Discord, because those guys are all awesome over there. If you guys have any questions, let me know. Good luck, and wish us luck at Nova. We'll see you in another video soon.